Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about scaled copies. Okay, scaled copies are shapes or figures that are the same shape as the original, but they're just a different size. Okay, some are going to be bigger, some are going to be smaller. The angles of the shapes are going to be the same, but the side lengths are going to be different. Okay, so sometimes they're gonna get bigger, sometimes they're gonna get smaller, and a lot of and that's going to be dependent upon the scale factor. And we'll talk about the scale factor in a different video. Okay, the scale factor that we're talking about is whatever we're gonna multiply that original figure by or that number by in order to get to the copy. Okay, so the original times the scale factor equals the copy. So if the scale factor is greater than 1, 1.7, 2.3, 8, 12, 150,000. Those are all greater than 1. That means the copy is going to be bigger, whether that be the number, whether that be the shape, number or shape. If the scale factor is less than 1, okay, which means it's between 0 and 1, not that it's negative, okay. If it's less than 1, then we're talking about a half, a quarter, 0.1, 0.13, whatever those numbers are, okay? That means the copy is going to get smaller, which means the copy is going to shrink, okay? It's going to get smaller. If the scale factor is equal to 1, okay, you may run into an occasion with that, and if that's the case, then the copy is going to be the same size because anything multiplied by 1 is going to be itself, okay? So let's look at a couple of different examples. We'll look at a couple that get bigger and a couple that get smaller. So as we look at our first example, we have a rectangle up here with two side lengths of 6 across the top and 5 across the side. Now it's a rectangle, so that also means that we have a 6 over here and I have a 5 over here. And it says right here that the scale factor is 1/2. So I'm taking half of the size of this particular rectangle. So again, the shape will all be the same. So this top side, instead of being 6, is going to be 3. Okay, and the side over here is going to be half of 5, which is 2.5. 2.5. So we complete our rectangle. Again, mentioning our right angles because that's one of the defining characteristics. This becomes a 2.5 over here, and this becomes a 3. That's how we draw a scaled copy when the scale factor is 1/2. So as you look at another example, we're looking at a triangle. Notice I've got several different shapes up here. Our triangle with a scale factor of 3. Now 3 is greater than 1. So that means my new copy is going to be much larger than the original. So we look at our left-hand side, which is the 3, with a scale factor of 3. So 3 times 3, that gives me 9. So we're going to call that 9, okay? Now, across the bottom, this from here to here is 4. 4 times 3 is going to give me 12. So that's 12. And then we're going to close in our triangle. And to get our measurement here, this was originally 5. Scale factor of 3. 5 times 3 is going to give me 15. We have our right triangle that goes with that. Okay? Hope this is making sense for you. So now we've got a pentagon. And this is a regular pentagon. And a regular shape is basically just one where all the sides are the same length. So 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. With our scale factor of 1/4. So what we're going to do is we're going to have each of these sides multiplied by 1/4. So 1/4 of 4 gives me 1. And we'll do that on all of our sides. Equals 1, equals 1. And now we just draw our pentagon. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That becomes my regular pentagon. That side's not very straight. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So that gives me my regular pentagon, 1/4 the size of the original. In our last example, we have a square. Okay, side length of 3, side length of 3. Scale factor is 4. So it's greater than 1. So it's going to get bigger. So 3 times 4, that's going to give me a 12. And 3 times 4, this one's also going to give me a 12. So 12, 12, 12, and 12. 12 and 12. Right angles, 12 and 12. Okay, so scale copies, a couple things to make sure that we keep remember after we look at the examples. Greater than 1, the answer is going to be bigger. Less than 1, the answer is going to be smaller. Okay, so make sure that you're paying attention to each part of each figure and not just doing one of them. If I had looked at this original example and done the scale factor times the 6 and realized I'm like, I really don't want to take half of 5 because that's not an even number. So I'm just going to leave it as 6 and as 3 and 5. That's not going to be a scale copy. Okay, the angles wouldn't be the same. The side lengths are not proportional. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Thank you.